Hi, I'm Lou. Another episode of My Car Story. I'm here with Carter Emerson. Carter, good
Morning,
to see you.
Lou. How are you?
Good. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona at the Cars and Coffee. You can hear some of the excitement behind us. Let me grab the camera. Carter, you know, what have you done here today?
Let me tell you what we did. This is not an official thing, but I know a lot of the owners of the cars we're going to take a look at it. It's the Ferrari 330 GTC and some of the variants on it, and I think we've got 12 or 13 of them here this morning who came together. This happens to be the 50th anniversary of the Ferrari 330 GTC, so we've got a big gathering here.
Let's take a look at the cars. We're going to try to feature each car of the 13 because I think that's going to be like an all-time record.
Yes.
So let's feature the cars.
This one's beautiful, and it's a great example of the 330 GTC. It happens to be owned by Christian Rowe, who's right behind us. 5-speed transmission, 4-liter engine, bodied by Pininfarina, the little doodad there on the side of the car. Transmission in the back with a transaxle.
Let's take a look. Good,
You'll see that. However you want to do this. You know, some people like the wire wheels, like Christian. Other people have the disc wheels, like that one, the mag wheels.
Broke down.
This one.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, it's transmission. Oh, really?
This particular car is owned by Harley Cluxton, who is pretty famous because Harley Cluxton ran a very successful racing team at Le Mans called the Gulf Mirage team. Harley is also a dealer of exotic cars. So a number of people here bought cars probably from Harley over the day.
Harley.
Now, here is one who snuck in. This is not a 330 GTC. It's a little different. This is the 4-passenger car, so this is a 330 GT 2+2 because it has a back seat. But he snuck in.
All right.
Pretty similar with the side vents and so forth. Same size motor. And you can see there's a few other differences. It's longer because it's a 4-passenger car. This one's owned by Terry Larson. And for people here in the valley, or for that matter across the country, Terry is Mr. Jaguar. He is one of the world's foremost experts on Jaguar D-types and C-types, and Terry's right here. And despite the fact that he's Mr. Jaguar, he decided he wanted to have a Ferrari too. Anyway, so he decided to slip a Ferrari in with his fantastic Jaguar collection.
You got to, right? I mean,
Yeah,
why not?
Everybody should have one.
Yeah. If you don't have a 330 Ferrari, I mean, come on, what's going on?
My only problem is I'm trying to remember who owns this one. I have no idea who owns this one.
That's all right.
It's another 330. I'm sure I've got them written down, but I know who this is. This is Todd Rigg, who's a great guy. This car was shown at the Arizona Concours in the first year. And because the car is so original, look at the paint, it's very original. I think this car was a preservation class car. It's a terrific car, an example of a very original car. Todd's a money manager here in town. But yeah, you can see it's got war dings. This is a car that's actually being driven like most of these things. All right, Lou. This is probably the oldest paint job. He jokes about it. It's owned by Jim Spear, who is a lawyer here locally. He drives almost every single year, and he's going to this year on the Copper State. Hey, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah.
Let's video
So
this.
Jim's a great guy. I'm not sure where he is right now, but this car has been run on the Copper State. Jim's owned this car, I think, for 40 years, which is a great story. He kids about the fact that he has the least amount of paint of anybody here. Look how old the paint is on this thing.
Claim to fame.
Yeah, his claim to fame is the least amount of paint. All right. So, know, if it's good to have a 330, it's good to have two also. Dr. Raines, Philippe Raines, owns this coupe, this 330 GTC, which is a beautiful one. But Dr. Raines also owns this gorgeous convertible here known as a 330 GTS, the Spyder.
So these guys are asking about Colt.
So he has both this one.
And that's the only Spyder here today.
No, there's another Spyder
Oh, is there?
further
All right,
on
we'll
down,
get a little farther. Oh,
owned
I
by
see,
my
yeah.
friend Terry Maxon.
You know, there's so many Ferrari 330s that I lost that one in the middle of all the Coupes.
They made 600 330 GTCs.
Yeah.
They made, I think, 150 of the Spyders, 330 GTSs. And like I said, these two are owned by Dr. Raines, who's a doctor. Okay. And he drives his cars. This car really gets driven. It's a beautiful car. But, this one is owned by... Oh, I did wrong. Oh, let me tell you who owns these two. This is interesting. The a noted car dealer here, Brent Burge, who collects cars as well, also has a really nice restoration shop. Notice the difference on this car?
I did.
The vents here, these are 365s. Towards the end of the run, they made 150 cars with slightly bigger motors, 4.4 liter. You notice it doesn't have a little vent on the side. It has top vents. So even though they're not 330s, we allowed them into the gallery here. You'll notice that otherwise the cars are essentially identical except for the bigger motor. So these are both the gray one and the red one, the two 365s, are both owned by Brent Burge.
Yeah, they look identical in the interior.
A funny in-period thing for a very fancy car if you own a Ferrari. I'll show you something. Sure. See the cigarette lighter? You notice there's a hole in there? Well, if you're going down the Côte d'Azur with your Ferrari, but you want to light your cigarette, your Marcello Mastroianni, what do? You stick the cigarette in there, you press the button, and it pops out to you lit.
Nice.
Anyway,
That's
I don't know if you're interested in silly stuff like that.
I am actually very interested in the silly stuff. If you got,
That's fun.
that is good
All right,
stuff.
you've won a really original one. This is my friend Terry Maxon, Dr. Maxon, who is here somewhere. And he really drives this. Look at all the dings all over the nose and everything else. And you're on TV. that's Terry's wife, Elaine. Yep. You're going to be on television. So this is what we have two. We have two GTSs. This one and Philippe Raines's. All right, we're down to the last two. This one's mine. I bought this a couple years ago. Love the car. They drive great, and the biggest thing is, of course, the Ferrari noise that it makes with the V12. Be happy to show you the engine when we get to the end if you want to see what one of those looks like. But like I said, I bought this 2 years ago. I like the wires, so I put the wires on.
Why this car?
This car?
Carter, out of all the cars in the world.
Because, well, first of all, I can afford it.
Okay.
No, why this particular Ferrari? I think that it is the most balanced car. It may not be the fastest, but it is really, really beautifully balanced. Phil Hill, the famous driver, the only U.S. Grand Prix champion, Phil Hill said the 330 was the best road-going Ferrari in the 1960s.
Really?
And you know, you got to take it from Phil Hill, right?
If Phil Hill says it's good, then we can
You're
bank
interested in seeing
on
what a
it.
motor is on one
Yeah,
of
let's
these
look
for
at
your
that.
viewers?
We're going to do that, and then we're going to get
and
the
then we got
last
one more.
Yep.
Oh, this. All right, so what do you have here? You got a 4-liter V12. Put this down here so it doesn't fall down. 4-liter V12. They started out with the 2+2. We have one of those down here with that motor, and then switched over. Now, here's another car fact fight. A lot of your viewers will have seen the famous movie Grand 3, John Frankenheimer's famous movie. If you look at that movie, there are two 330 GTCs in it. One is a supposed Ferrari factory scene, and then at the end, one of the main characters, the wife drives up in a car which is the 330 GTC.
Let's start this. Sure. Come on, Carter.
Oh, I thought he was great.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on out, let's get that last one.
All right, the last one right here. This is my friend Bruce Robertson. You guys move back. Bruce is a Chicagoan, like me, but has recently come to the Phoenix area. Has a terrific car collection. This is one of his many cars. Lots of Jaguars. His email address is britcar.com, but somehow or other, just like Terry Larson, Mr. Jaguar, he got convinced to buy a Ferrari. And guess which one he bought? The 330.
Isn't that interesting, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if you can't afford a 330, if you can't afford a 250 GTO, then at least go 330 GTC. There you go. You see Yes.
So Carter, come stand right here.
Yep.
Stay right in front of me.
Okay.
So Carter, thanks for putting this all together.
Happy to do it.
And it was really good to see, and I'll just kind of feature all the cars right down the row behind
Great,
you.
terrific.
But,
I know the owners will do this. If you can give me your card when we're finished, I now have everybody's email address. We can make them subscribers to your show. How about that?
Sounds like a plan. Thanks so
All
much
right.
for being on My Car Story,
Very
a little
good.
bonus feature.
Nice to meet you.